Bly, good to see you again. How is everyone? How do we go this week? Stream offline. It should be online, bro, to be honest. More Orderflow videos, yes sir. Are we alright, chat? Are we up? Should be fine, yeah? Okay, we're good. Orderflow, entry models, couple of the responses in the SurveyMonkey were asking about that. So we can definitely go through that. Mr. Juicy, how are we? I'm good, Ryan. How are you, bro? Mr. Lungless, haven't seen you in a while. Mr. IMG, I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you? Digger, James, Visura, Ron File. Everyone doing good? Traded Tuesday and got broke even. Price rating too much. Thursday, I cleared out most of my charts and I was just doing forward testing. Thursday. Yeah, looks like Thursday was pretty shit, to be honest. I think, yeah, not a lot happening on Thursday, and then Friday we continued lower, which is pretty surprising. Zach, crossover, what's going on? Alright, so a lot of us wanted to go through pretty much different setups and strategies for entry, so basically entry models and order flow. A lot of people had some entries. Inducement, we went through that last session, so whoever asked for inducement, have a look at the last session and have a look through that. And if you got any questions, then you can ask it here. So I actually haven't posted a couple of these entry models in the Discord. Entry model that you guys know is this one here. So in a bullish example, you guys know this. Lawrence, what's going on? How's the hedge going? Yeah, it's going okay. Pretty hard psychologically, but I'm up a little bit. So just trying to take it nice and slow. Hopefully it goes well, but to be honest, we got that 4 hour taken, which is pretty funky. You reckon we'll get a 15-minute pullback on Monday? Yeah, I reckon a pullback is imminent. That's a pretty big drop. Pretty low in the leg as well to be looking for continuations from here. So, you know, most likely we'll probably get like some sort of a pullback and then probably continue lower, to be honest. Basically what I was saying with the entry models, you guys know like the basic breaker structure. So this is like traditional, yeah? This is the traditional model that we usually use, or that I usually use my continuations. So how it goes is breaker structure, demand at the protected low, JW, AP, what's going on? So you guys know the model to be something like this. Pretty straightforward, right? Break structure, protected low, inducement. This also becomes a weak low because it fails to put in a new high in structure, which is just a further confluence that validates the zone that we're trading from. So you guys know this entry model for continuations. There is also one that is like this. So pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing, break structure. I'll try to list out all the ones that I use for continuations. We'll just cover the continuations one, the continuation entry models for now. JWU, what's good, bro? So we got this demand, and then we'll have that inducement here, of course, and then something that makes it more high probability than the one on the left is it'll have the imbalance right here. So that's two entry confluences. Imbalance and inducement. Inducement gets swapped, imbalance gets filled on the way down to demand. Perfect, that's what we want. Solver, what's going on? I'm good, Patrick, how are you? How are you, man? So that's this one. The only one that I've got in the Discord at the moment, if you guys have a look at the 1 minute channel, is, let me just double check. Okay, so it's just, yeah, traditional. Just normal break structure, inducement protected high, right? So pretty much just gonna be, because I can't be fucked, honestly, I can't be fucked doing a course on trading. It's just too much of a headache. So I'm just gonna pretty much give everything in this Discord, in this community. So actually we don't need that. Now, we've got one with inducement, we've got one with imbalance and inducement. There are also entry models that I use, which are just like this. Yeah, someone's breaking into a car. Just love being in the fucking hood. So demand here. This one is without inducement. And this one just comes with the imbalance alone. That is still valid to take for a continuation for me. Cows, what's going on? So very similar to the previous two, but obviously this one is just an imbalance confluence. West Melbourne moment, yeah, bad, I know. So we've got inducement, we've got imbalance and inducement, we've got imbalance. Now, this one I've used from time to time. It's pretty uncommon. I'd say it's more uncommon than fail break structure, but sometimes this does work. I know Patrick took this probably a couple of days ago, this type of entry model. He's probably taken it because he's seen me taking it in the past. So it goes a little something like this. Like this, break structure, like this, and then it's something like this. So let me break it down for you guys so you understand it. Break a structure. And you can feel free to test these, add them to your journal or whatnot. So there is inducement here. Then you have the demand zone that was here. Gaff, what's going on? Intro Masterclass, yes sir. And what price will actually be reacting off. And these are only in some cases, right? From what I've taken in the data for these setups, they don't really present themselves too often. But in balance, right? These type of setups only work in pretty much cases where price is extremely bullish. Like the only times these setups have presented themselves is when that 4 hour, 15 minute and that lower time frame are aligned. For example, let's say bullish in this case. And you've got something like this. You've got inducement formed, but price seems to react off the imbalance and gives you confirmation of that imbalance and continues to head higher. That does happen pretty, I'd say probably 1 out of 10 times or 2 out of 10 times it will probably happen. But it's usually in cases where price is, aligned on the 15 minute, 4 hour and the lower time frame. But I know Patrick's taken a setup on this before. Last time I probably took one of these setups probably a couple months ago. But then again, it's still a setup worth knowing, right? It's still an entry model worth knowing, or at least testing, because you never know, right? I think out of the 50 breakdowns I've only seen you use, yeah, I think it's only been once or twice, something like that, bro. When it was click buy PA, yeah, pretty much, exactly. When you're struggling to get an entry, this is like a very, very extreme entry. A very, very extreme entry, right? So, we got inducement, imbalance and inducement, imbalance, and this is using the imbalance as a demand zone right here. What other rare entry model do we use here? Hang on. Let me fix this up. So the only other model that we use here as well is, of course, fail breaker structure, right? So how it goes, breaker structure. Yeah, we're doing it right now. JWU, don't worry, bro. Do you look for these break structure on the lower time frame or on the 15-minute? I will touch on that, David. Let me finish this fail breaker structure model and I will touch on that, all right? I will definitely touch on that. Just give me 2 minutes, I'll finish this off and then I'll explain that. Because you would have noticed I haven't labeled anything on the lower time frame here. So fail breaker structure, of course, this is a pretty advanced model, right? Because usually, you know, once people see that change of character, it's basically over for them. Yeah, they'll look for shorts here and then they'll get stopped out eventually, right? But for me, for price to like for this setup to actually play and for it to be considered as a fail breaker structure setup instead of a change of character, price needs to have a reaction and respect the original breaker structure zone. So in this case, if price does respect this demand here, takes out the inducement, because remember the fail breaker structure, the lows in this case become inducement for the original breaker structure demand, which is here, yeah? So if price does respect that demand in the fail breaker structure, actually let me rephrase it. Let's pretend it's a normal breaker structure here, normal breaker structure, then we get to change of character. So it's pretty much change a character until proven otherwise. Think about it like that. Change a character until proven otherwise. So this is technically a change of character. Let's pretend this is change of character right here, change character. But we respect the previous breaker structure and we continue higher here. Then we can class it as a failed breaker structure, because it's acting as a failed breaker structure because it's sweeping that liquidity and it respected the previous demand zone, respected the previous protected low, and we're starting to head higher. So in that case, it becomes a failed breaker structure. Think about it like this. If you ever get confused, it's a change of character until proven otherwise. That's the best way to think about it. Change a character until proven otherwise. Because 9 times out of 10, it will be a change of character. Now, David asked about, are these all in the lower time frame? No. These can be used on any time frame for continuations. They can be used on the 15-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour, and so on. Voids, what's going on? You can use that's the beauty of entry models, right? You can use it on any time frame you want, but it's just the fact that on the lower time frame, obviously the entry models will be more frequent because price moves a lot faster on the lower time frame and price develops a lot more quicker. Obviously, entry models will form quicker compared to the high time frame. What if price sweeps the protected low and heads up? That's fine. If price respects the protected low, if it wicks it, that's fine, right? If it wicks the protected low, that is fine. as long as it's respecting that protected low in this continuation model, for this continuation model, these ones over here, as long as price is respecting the protected low, if it does get wicked, that's fine. If it closes above, cool. If it closes below the protected low, that invalidates the whole continuation model for me. So look, in terms of all the continuation models I use for my trading, this is it, to be honest. Fail break structure, imbalance entry confluence in a normal traditional continuation model, imbalance and inducement in a normal traditional continuation model, and inducement all the way to the left in a traditional continuation model. Do you know any websites to get second shots without any trying to pay? I just use MetaTrader 4 seconds, but I think there's some websites out there, bro. Ask in the chat, because I'm not too sure, but I've seen them before. I've seen them floating around. And a lot of people were confused on Orderflow. The way I see Orderflow in very, very simple terms is basically internal structure, right? So, you know, us seeing a break of structure confirm here. Us seeing multiple breaks of structure like this, Orderflow is bullish for me. Yeah, we can agree on that. Yeah, we can agree on that. And then we get something like this. We get that change character, then we get this break structure here. So that's the order flow shift for me there. So seeing stuff like this, break a structure, break a structure, break a structure, break a structure, and then we get that change of character. So we get a new high put in, and then obviously we get a new low put in, and that's followed by a break of structure here. That's the order flow shift for me right there. Started trading continuations after the masterclass 2 weeks ago. My strike rate has been good as. Can't believe I used to trade off the 4-hour zones. Yeah, bro, like I was the exact same, to be honest. I used to only trade off the 1 hour and trade off 1 hour zones, and I would take. This is when I first started, and I would take trades, and I'm like, it would be like a whole week, and the trade would hit my stop loss, and I'd be like, fucking hell, like, what's the point of this? You know, like it's taken forever, and like I do a good analysis and it doesn't even play out. I can't even collect data properly because it's taken 1 week for a fucking trade. There's got to be a better way. So I had to like research a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and then I realized that, you know, the lower time frame is actually tradable. And it's like, because I used to be one of those people that thought, oh no, you can't trade on the lower time frame, you can't trade on the 1 minute, that's fucked. But actually looking at it and testing it properly, it actually works, right? So I want to also go through some continuation models as well. Sorry, reversal models, reversal. Not too common with me. We'll start with the basics, of course. So we have this one here. Where we get the change of character. And there's 2 ways to trade this. I will show you guys, alright? I'll show you guys right here. And it's both an aggressive and probably a safer entry here. Just like before, break a structure. Break a structure, and then we get this we get this change of character here. Just put a CH. Change of character. So this one, 2 entries that you can take here. Imbalance. Imbalance is here as the entry confluence, so let's move the imbalance down just a little bit down. And let's say supply zone is right here. Does that make sense? So we've got supply. Entry confluence on this reversal is imbalance. This is pretty aggressive, right? Especially if it's just a change of character out of nowhere. I consider this to be pretty aggressive because we don't have that break structure confirmation to tell us that price is actually going to continue to put in new lows in this case, right? So what I'd like to do is follow it with the break structure and then take it as a continuation. That's just one way where I can make it just a little bit of a higher probability trade for me, right? So we got this supply right here. And we got this imbalance. Let me fix this up. So this is one of the ways you can pretty much trade this sequence of price right here. Supply, imbalance, the aggressive way to enter off the reversal, supply and balance protected high, and you're pretty much trading the pullback of that change of character, so you get that new change of character happening, and you're pretty much looking to short off that pullback wherever it may be. I consider it to be pretty yeah, let me fix that up, Ryan, because otherwise people are going to get confused. I don't always trade at the protected high, but that's just the high probability trade for me, right? So this is showing that you can trade the reversal. It is a little bit riskier. That's an entry model for a reversal with the imbalance. And then obviously the more confirmed trade in my eyes is the break structure, imbalance, supply. Do you wait for the higher time frame zone to look for these kind of entries? I'm getting to that, Ramen News. I'm getting to that. This is just change character on its own. We'll work our way up to that one. And then we've got this one here. So break structure. Get that. We get this, get that, and then we got this one here. Can you explain why the swing high and the change of character? That's alright. It's a change of character because it put in a new high and it put in a new low. So you can see main break structure, we're respecting protected lows here because these protected lows cause a new high. This is a change of character because we got that new break structure that was there before we changed it to a change of character, but then the high took out the original low. So it's a change of character, basically a reversal in simple terms for you. Alright, so in this entry model, break structure, change of character. So we're getting that order flow shift now. It's happening. And then we're getting the inducement entry, right? Inducement entry. And then obviously supply is there. With a protected high. I consider this to be a high probability compared to this one, because this one will have the inducement and the imbalance. So it's a double entry confluence. But the way I'd like to trade this, so obviously that's followed by a break structure, which is just an additional confirmation. You know, I don't have to catch the top. I can more than happy with, you know, waiting for the confirmation of the break structure and trading it just like a normal continuation model. And we have the inducement here. So you guys will notice that this is just traditional, turns into a traditional continuation model right here, yeah? And then we get this protected high here. because that caused a new low. And then the same thing happens over here. But it's just with the inducement. So both can be taken. High probability one out of all these three steps up top is the middle one, because it does have that imbalance on both setups. So we get that. And then obviously break a structure up here. Change the character. Then we've got the inducement. Then we get that new low taken out. Then it turns into a regular continuation model. Very saucy stream, yes sir, juicy. With the supply and demand, do you use the whole candle or just the bottom or the top wick? In terms of that, bro, we can go through that more in depth next session. If you guys want to put that in the Survey Monkey, the new one I put out. But just for now, bro, pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. I use these supply and demand zones here. Another type of reversal I like to take, if it does present itself, I'll just show this anyway because, look, I'll explain why. So, 15-minute supply here, yeah? Let me show you how I can turn this into a continuation, right? And then we'll carry on with the rest of the stream. So, lower time frame on the 1 minute. So obviously, if I'm looking on the lower time frame, looking for that reversal, I'd look for something like this. Something like this would be ideal for me, right? So that would be a breaker structure. Not that. Oh, what's going on? It's a bit wonky, isn't it? There we go. Break a structure. Change the character. I'll show you guys how to turn this into a continuation. Not like at the top continuation. And let's say this is inducement. Why does your disco look hectic? Because there's an update, bro. We can change the background on it. There's an update. You can change the background on it, bro. You have to go into appearance on your computer, and if it's there, then you can change it to like different colors, bro. And then we get this supply right here. So this would be a good example of looking for a high probability reversal. I consider this one to be high probability out of them all, and mainly due to the fact that we have this external factor of us playing into a high time frame supply. So rather than having something in the middle of nowhere, we have that extra additional confluence of that external factor that we're playing into a supply zone right now, and we've gotten this formation of a change of character. Inducement, supply, protected high, play into there, and we come all the way down. But how do we turn this into a continuation? I will show you. So what this is going to look like on the 15 minute is going to look like this. Just wait for my brain to load for a second. Yeah, this is the one. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. So the way we can turn it into a continuation, simply have a look at the 15-minute time frame. What's happening? Break a structure. We've got our protected high right here. This can be easily, like, you can easily perfect continuations that only use continuations in this market, yeah? And I'm showing you how to do that right now. So this supply, this is just a regular continuation model, right? Traditional continuation model. If you feel more comfortable taking continuations, this is how you can change it into it, right? So we go into the high time frame. This is 15 minute. We get that breaker structure. We got that inducement right there. We have that 15-minute supply. And let's say that we have a refinement. You know, we can look for a refinement on here. Let's say that's a refinement, and then we play right into that refinement, split the inducement. We can get seconds entry confirmation on this because with the refinement that, well, in my rule book, in my trading plan, if I'm trading on the 15 minute and I have a 15-minute supply zone with a 15-minute refinement, then I can use seconds entry confirmation on that. Use seconds entry confirmation on this, and then just pretty much trade it as a 15-minute continuation. If you feel only comfortable with continuations, then you can just trade it like this. And you can do something like that, right? Instead of going through the traditional lower time frame, all right, let me look for a change of character, inducement, supply, protected high, and then we come down off the 15-minute supply. Two ways to approach it, both 15-minute supplies. Let me reiterate that so it says that. Both 15-minute supplies, and they both can be pretty much approached with two different setups. How would you use the 4-hour zone still? I don't trade up the 4-hour zones, to be honest, bro. All they are is just for looking how the 15-minute enters the zone and how structure develops off that. I'll explain it again really quickly, but let's have a look here. Seconds entry confirmation. It's here somewhere. There's too much shit here. Seconds right here. All seconds is, let's pretend we're on the seconds right now. Seconds right here, pretty much the exact same thing, right? It's the change of character. That's the confirmation. So on the seconds, you see structure develop like this. That's the confirmation right there. That's all it is. Easy cows, no stress. I'll save this and I'll put this in the entry models channel in case anyone wants to, you know, practice on these, test them out. So I will save that for you guys. We will go through what's it called, the 4-hour now on AUD USD. See what's going on over here. Alright, look, to be honest, I think we're still going to be coming down a little bit lower. To be honest, I've had this demand zone marked up since last year. Could be something worth targeting. I know it's a long shot, right? I know it is a long shot, but it could be worth targeting it. Could be something worth looking at because it has the imbalance. It's a valid zone. Did create an internal breaker structure. So look, it's probably something worth looking at. Plus, all this trendline liquidity here can be swept on the way down, which is something that we can look at as well. But look, to be honest with you guys, I would be looking to have some sort of pullback before looking to continue short continuations. 15-minute obvious breaker structure right here. Is there anything that we can look at for a potential zone? Everything seems to be mitigated. Time to get my first 0.01 lot 100 heart trade. That's gonna be me, bro, I swear. Fuck, that played off really nice. I actually missed this. This was on the Friday. I saw that. Fuck, look how clean that was, chat. Look how nice that was. Breaker structure, inducement, bang. Fucking beautiful. Doesn't get any better than that, yeah? Look, to be honest, I'll have alerts set below here just in case we continue to head down lower and keep bleeding. And because obviously we're stuck in this range at the moment. If we're getting that correction heading up, I'll make an alert for that too. 15-minute correction. Yeah, Tyler, you know what? I'm fucking. Oh, you got break even. I was gonna say I was gonna be really jealous. Oh no, fuck. You guys both have purple. I tripped out. GG, Tyler. That's good. That was very, very clean. But I would have taken 100%, 110%. That suited my criteria really nicely. It's exactly what we just spoke about. Breaker structure, supply, with inducement, body confirmation. Sorry, seconds confirmation because of that refinement right here. Refine the body, bang, seconds confirmation. Like this doesn't get any better than this. Any better than that, right? Perfect setup right here. Perfect. Picture perfect. I should have taken that. If you took that 15-minute trade, where would you have taken profit? That's a good question. I would be lying if I said I'd take profit down here. I'd probably look at the previous low, to be honest, because it would have been pretty low on the leg. I would have said here, previous low. I missed that and missed with my emotions. Could have. Yeah, that was a big trade. Just wish I held longer. I hit TP while I was sleeping. That was a fucking beautiful trade. Did you use the how did you take it, Tyler? Did you take it from the lower time frame as a reversal, or did you take it from the 15-minute as a continuation? Because those are logically the only two ways we could have taken this trade. Fuck, that was nice. What can we consider if we do come up higher? I mean, look, there's not really an abundance of PLYs up here, so probably look at something like this. Something to consider. Up here, I mean, look, it's a bit of a stretch, but there's not really a lot to target up here, yeah? 15-minute continuations, beautiful, Tyler. I would have taken the exact same. Promise you that. I had my short waiting on the 3-minute above and the 15-minute, and was at work, so I couldn't check it. Fuck, that's tough. It happens, bro. It happens. Yeah, look, probably the only two zones I consider are these two. Protected highs here, because this caused the breaker structure. And probably just be considering these two zones, to be honest, as high time frame zones. Obviously, one minute turns bullish, and we get 1 minute bullish order flow, breaks the structure heading up. That's when we'll get that pullback on the 1 minute. And obviously, you know, these are the zones that we'd want to see some sort of reaction from. Went over my trade yesterday and caught 3 break evens and total 26R, but up 7% on the funnel. That's beautiful, bro. You're doing good, Zach, honestly. You're actually improving really well. I'm proud of you, bro. In terms of how I want to play it, this is probably how I want to play it. If price was to correct itself, I'd probably look at these two. And one more thing I want to point out to you guys before we have a look at the news and wrap it up for today. Look at where the DXY is positioned. Look at my outlook. We're still within this breaker structure, right? We're still within that protected higher. It's still within bearish order flow. We're just having that pullback. So what I'm thinking is I want to see how price reacts off here. So I'll probably set alerts on here too, because this is important, right? This is the difference between price turning bullish or staying bearish on the DXY. So it's a big deal. This is a very big deal. And it can actually paint us the way and, you know, show us where price is going to be heading for the next week. Shifting. Bullish. And then if we come down a little bit lower, I'll look at that on the lower time frame, seeing if we're getting that bearish order flow shift on the lower time frame at least. So bottom line is alerts are going to be set. This will dictate if AU is going to continue bearish or if it's going to be continuing bullish. So definitely something you want to be having a look at or considering in your plan at least. Would you look for continuations up to supply POY this week? Possible. If something suits my entry model, possibly Declan. Is a lower probability? Yes. But, you know, if my setup's there and I'm trading my plan, what else could I do, right? Low probability, but if it does present itself, I could be looking at taking it. DXY ranging on the 15 minute. Yeah, I'd like to see how the DXY reacts to that supply zone, because that's an important piece of structure. If that protected high gets taken out on the DXY, the US dollar index, then price is going to be continuing bullish on the DXY, which means price is going to be continuing bearish on AUD USD. So let's have a look for the week anyway, chat, and see what we got going on here for next week. 27th, no high impact news, pretty quiet. Happy to trade on that day. Tuesday looks good as well. A little bit later in that New York, we got that US news. And then we got CPI for AUD, which is going to be big news. They are forecasting lower, but so if it does come in lower, that's going to be bearish for AUD, which means AUD USD will continue to head down lower. Something to keep in mind. Probably happy to trade after that. We'll see how we go. More high impact news on the Wednesday night. Shouldn't do too much, but rest of Thursday looks good. Friday looks good as well. To be honest, just Wednesday we need to be a little bit cautious of the CPI. Other than that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday look pretty good to me. I just got another retrial on my funder. Should I try pass a free trial before I start retry? It's up to you, bro. It depends how you feel. It honestly depends how you feel and how you performed. Only you're going to know what you need to do. But like, it was just your offense basically. Your defense was good. You protected your capital. It's just you weren't capitalizing on your winning trades. How you address that is up to you. But like, that's what you need to work on, yeah? It's your finding that you're finding the setups. Can you show us what you count as a mitigated zone? Sure. So a mitigated zone is something like this. Supply POI right here, price comes in and it taps in like that. That's mitigated right there. Very simple, bro. It's just when price taps into the zone. Alright, chat. Do we have anything else for today before we wrap up? Anything else for today? Imbalance inducement. That's just a break structure, but to be honest. Shark is just a break of structure, but followed well somewhere. Okay. W sesh, W boys, alright. When it's salty when playing a reversal. All good, Tyler. Is that tap a refinement? Yes, it is. Well, in my refinement rules, yeah. I refine it to the body. And if there's no body refinement, I'll look for a 3-minute or a 1-minute refinement. And obviously we hit this refinement perfectly right there. So do you want to wait for double confirmation after the change of character? Like exactly what I said back here, bro. Exactly what I said back here. Exactly what I said over here. High probability for me is looking to play just a normal continuation model after the change of character. Just like I said before, bro. I'll put this in the session vault if you need to rewatch it, but Saucy Sesh, yes sir, Gaff. All good, Mr. Abstract. All good, Els. I said Els, sorry, Elge. My bad, bro. I'm out of it. Alright, boys. Take it easy. I'll see you guys on Wednesday, and make sure you Make sure you do the giveaway. Make sure you've done everything for it, so you're eligible for it if you do win it. All right. Alright, chat. Take it easy. W Lawrence, W Patrick, W Agha, W Tyler, W IMG, Denzel, W Elge. Take it easy, boys. WAP. All good, boys. Digger, Patrick, JW. Have a good rest of your day, boys. Alright, enjoy your weekend.